Welcome viewers. In this lesson we will analyze solid H, and this analysis will be done by a student of Form 4, that's a candidate called Anion. So he's been provided with solid H, and there you can see some reagents. You have test tubes in a rack, you have a Bunsen burner, a wash bottle there, measuring cylinder. You also have the pH chart there. So the first procedure, Anion take about 1/3 of solid H in a dry test tube. Then you heat solid H. You test gases being produced with blue and red litmus paper. So you will take blue and red litmus paper. It has to wet first. So wet using distilled water. He's wetting now both the papers. So those litmus papers will be used to test any gas being produced when solid H is heated. Now he is heating, that's good. We are heating now using non-luminous flame. Now let us make the observation he has made. So as you can see, the blue litmus paper turns red. Let us check what happened to the red litmus paper. You can see the red litmus paper remains red. So observation is blue litmus paper turns red, while red litmus paper remains red. Let us also make some observations being made in the test tube. You could see that the cooler part of the test tube, a colorless liquid forms. That you are supposed to write to students is for the colorless liquid that forms on the cooler part, you are supposed to write hydrated salt present. That is, solid H is hydrated salt. For the red litmus paper remaining red, blue litmus paper turns red, the inference you are supposed to write is acidic gas produced. Now let us proceed to procedure 2. Now the remaining solid H you are supposed to dissolve in about 10 cubic centimeter of distilled water. Is now measuring about 10 cubic centimeter of distilled water. Put in a boiling tube. Solid H you add to the distilled water in the boiling tube. You shake the mixture. So let us make the observation. As you can see, solid H dissolves in water to form a colorless solution. Solid H dissolves in water to form a colorless solution. Good. The inference you are supposed to write, students, is solid H is a soluble salt. Solid H is a soluble salt. Good. Let us go to procedure 3. Now you divide that solution into 4 portions. Let us divide into 4 portions. That's the first portion. That's good. That's the second portion. And that is the third portion. And that's the fourth portion. Now to the first portion, add ammonia solution dropwise till in excess. So get ammonia solution. So let us add dropwise till in excess. Dropwise, you can see we have white precipitate. He is now adding excess. Good. So dropwise, you get white precipitate. In excess, the white precipitate does not dissolve. Therefore, the correct observation is white precipitate is formed which is insoluble in excess. Very good. Inference, you are supposed to write, students note that when a certain portion forms white precipitate insoluble in excess with aqueous ammonia, then the cations that are present there is 1 magnesium, 2 aluminium, or lead ions. So we have either magnesium, aluminium, or lead ions present. Very good. Now, to the second portion, add 3 drops of aqueous sodium chloride. That is aqueous sodium chloride. Let us add 3 drops to the second portion and we make the observation. So you can see there is no white precipitate. The solution remains colorless. Therefore, the correct observation, students, is no white precipitate is formed. Very good. Now, remember sodium chloride tests 2 cations, that is lead and silver. So we are not supposed to mention silver because already we have mentioned magnesium, aluminium, or lead. Therefore, the correct inference is either magnesium or aluminium ions present. Then lead is absent. Why? Because the lead forms white precipitate with sodium chloride. And since we have obtained no white precipitate, then it means lead ions absent. So magnesium or aluminium ions present. Very good. Now let us go to the third portion. Now to the third portion we add barium nitrate. So that is barium nitrate. Note barium nitrate tests anions. So let us make the observation. So let us make the observation. You can see we have white precipitate formed. So the observation is white precipitate is formed. Very good. Now the inference, remember barium nitrate tests 3 groups of anions, that is sulfate, carbonate, or sulfite ions present. Now the portion that we have obtained in procedure 3, we are supposed to add 2 drops of dilute HCl. That is the portion that we have obtained from barium nitrate. Now we add 3 drops of dilute HCl. The portion that we have obtained from addition of barium nitrate, we add now 2 drops of dilute HCl. So you want to know whether that white precipitate will dissolve in the acid or not. Good. So let us check. The white precipitate, does it dissolve or it does not? You can see the white precipitate is still persists. Therefore, the correct observation is white precipitate is formed which is insoluble in the acid. Good. So among the anions that you have mentioned, that is sulfate, sulfite, carbonate, it's only sulfate that is insoluble in the acid. Therefore, the inference is sulfate ions confirmed present. So that's the end of analysis of question 2. That is a test for cations and anions. You are analyzing solid H. Now the conclusion is that solid H contains either magnesium or aluminium. And the anion that we have confirmed was sulfate. So the anion in solid H was sulfate, but the cation is either aluminium or magnesium. Now that test the student did, we call it analysis of cations and anions. Analysis of cations and anions. So that's the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching and good day.